Seoul, Korea. Blue Square, iMarket Hall, live. 2018, GSL versus the world. Three days ago, 16 of the world's top players gathered in Seoul. Honor for their countries, honor for their leagues, and the best fight they've fought under their names. 2018 GSL versus the world. And today, the fastest, the smartest, the strongest. Only one last survivor will remain. Introducing the last survivors going into their final match. The Protoss with the most finals during Legacy of the Void. The master of defense and comebacks. The last bastion of Protoss. The shield of iron. Stats.
I will be the one to survive.
The first WCS circuit, 3-time consecutive champion, reaching his peak in 2018, trying to conquer the last sanctuary, Korea. The best Zerg, Serral.
I will be the one to survive. To move, if you're ready or not, give it all that you got, turn it up now, you got to move, it's your chance to fly, with your head held high, right about now, you got to somewhere deep inside, our voice is dying to be heard, you got a spark inside your heart, go on and let
We're finally here. It's time for the finals of the GSL versus the world. We are going to go to an interview with our two players, which will be translated on stage. And after that, we will start this match to make esports history.
세랄 선수가 대한민국 부상뛰기를 이어가고 있어요. 이 시합 깨졌어요. 오늘 조성도 깨졌어요. 이제 김대엽 선수마저도 깨지게 되면은 대한민국 KRWS KR은 무너지는 거예요. 이 상황에서 김대엽 선수는 어떤 마음가짐으로 경기 임하실 건지.
So Serral has been breaking Korean player after Korean player throughout this tournament, including Innovation, Dark, and even Mara today. If this pace goes on, then the WCS Korea Kingdom will fall to Serral. How do you feel about going into this final smash today?
비록 세랄 선수가 한국에 진짜 굉장히 잘하는 선수들을 이기고 이렇게 올라왔지만은 아직 저를 이기지 못했기 때문에 저는 아직 한국이 무너지지 않았다고 생각을 하고 있습니다.
Although Serral has beaten down top tier Korean players, I haven't lost to him yet. So I believe that the WCS Korea Kingdom has not fallen under his into his hands. So I'll do my best to persevere this.
전 세계 커뮤니티가 지금 난리가 났습니다. 이 세랄 선수의 등장과 함께 이제 스타크래프트 2의 역사가 바뀌는 게 아니라는 의견들이 많은데, 그렇다면 김대엽 선수가 생각하는 세랄 선수는 어떤 선수이며 또 김대엽 선수가 두려움을 느끼는 존재인지 아니면 그냥 쉽게 넘어가는 징검다리인지 김대엽 선수의 생각을 듣고 싶습니다.
In the StarCraft 2 community thus far, Serral has been considered as one of the most potent players to revolutionize history by winning the finals in Korea. What do you think about that? What do you think about Serral as a player in general? Do you think he will be a very formidable opponent, or is he a easy mountain to climb?
솔직하게 말씀드리면은 세랄 선수를 지금까지의 외국인 선수로 이렇게 생각을 하지 않고 제가 그동안 결승전에서 자주 붙었던 박명우 선수급 이상이라고 생각을 하고 있기 때문에 그 정도로 지금 굉장히 좀 위기감을 느끼고 있고요. 그렇지만은 항상 저그를 이렇게 만났을 때 그런 위기들을 극복해 나가면서 이기는 모습들을 많이 보여드려 왔기 때문에 이번에도 위기를 뛰어넘고 우승하는 모습 보여드리겠습니다.
Although Serral is a very formidable opponent, I consider him in the top tier of the entire world. Some of the opponents that I faced in the past in grand finals of various tournaments, such as Dark, so he's very extraordinary. However, I was able to manage my insecurities versus Zergs in the past in this kind of grand stages. So I'll try to play out and show my crisis management as much as possible so I can be victorious in the end.
자, 그렇다면은 세랄 선수에게 질문하도록 하겠습니다. 전 세계 수많은 팬들이 오늘 세랄 선수가 김대엽 선수를 이겨주기를 바라고 있는데, 그렇다면 세랄 선수가 생각하는 대한민국의 김대엽 선수는 어느 정도 급이라고 생각하세요?
A lot of the international community members believe that you have the high potential to take down Stats. What do you think about Stats as a player?
I think Stats a great player, obviously, and taking him down is not an easy job. But I think I have a good shot, and I'll try my best to make it happen.
김대엽 선수는 일단 상당히 출중한 선수고 결코 넘기 쉬운 산이 아니지만 그래도 승산이 있는 만큼 최선을 다해서 오늘 이기도록 하겠습니다.
그렇다면 오늘 세랄 선수가 생각하는 결승전의 스코어,
What are your predictions for today's finals match in terms of score?
My prediction is 4-2 for me, but I don't know. I hate doing predictions, but let's say that for now.
개인적으로는 이런 스코어 예측하는 걸 매우 싫어하는 성격인데 굳이 하라고 하면 제 자신에게 4대2 승리를 걸겠습니다.
와. 그러면은 오늘 수많은 해외 팬분들 앞에서 세랄 선수의 각오 한 말씀 부탁드리겠습니다.
A lot of international fans showed up today in the studio. Can you say any words to the fans? Your expectations?
Yeah, thanks to all the fans who have came this far, and thanks for all the support I have gotten. It has helped me to get this far, and it's all very helpful.
일단 여기까지 와주신 모든 팬분들께 상당히 감사하고요. 그리고 팬들의 끊임없는 격려와 응원 덕분에 제가 여기까지 올 수 있었던 것 같습니다. 그렇기 때문에 더더욱 더 열심히 노력해서 오늘 우승하도록 하겠습니다.
이제 결승전 경기가 기다리고 있습니다. 대한민국은 지금까지 7년 동안 여러 대회에서 우승을 계속 이어나가고 있습니다. 이 대한민국 선수들의 연속 우승이 과연 이 무대에서 깨질 것인지, 새로운 슈퍼스타가 만들어질 것인지, 아니면 대한민국의 강국 이미지가 이어지게 될 것인지, 여러분의 뜨거운 박수와 함성으로 결승전 대결을
All right, we're going to get this going. Stats versus Serral. That's going to be crazy. Again, tell your friends to join us here as we may have a non-Korean win a GSL.
Just the beginning. Serral. Stats. GSL versus the world. 2018 GSL versus the world.
Okay, it's time. We're about to start game number one. This is crazy. Serral's been dominating everything outside of Korea. Now he's in Korea. He's in the finals. He's up against Stats, one of the most accomplished Protoss players, modern accomplished Protoss players that there is. And if he wins here, it's broken basically a 19-20 year combo of Koreans dominating everywhere, and especially in the GSL.
And it's an all-star show, the GSL versus the world. These are the best of the best. The best 8 Korean players are here, and on top, well, there might not be one.
And both of them looked great in this tournament so far. Both of them entered the grand final with a 9-1 record, and they did so by going through some very, very tough opponents. Of course, Stats taking out Maru in the semifinals, but Serral also defeating Innovation 3-0, and the man who never loses against non-Koreans, Dark 3-1. What a beautiful final, and damn, what an intro, guys. That intro was so freaking cool.
Oh, that intro is the best thing I've seen, dude. I had chills from head to toe. Every single part of my body is a quiver for this battle. Cannot wait. Stats, yes, to face a Zerg, says he's overcome this matchup in his mind. He is ready for this game against Serral. Serral has shown us in every single matchup how powerful it is, and ZVP has historically been his best matchup as well.
Yes, indeed it has, but are there any Protoss of Stats level that he has played on a stage like this before? I don't think so.
Yeah, he has had a couple big series, of course, against Classic, but they didn't all go well. One of them did not go well. The other one went a lot better. But you're right, Artosis. This is a big test. Of course, we've got some good Protosses in the WCS circuit. You've got your Neeps, you've got your Showtimes, but this man is also one of a kind.
Yes, this is the greatest defensive Protoss of our time, the successor to Rain, the Shield of Ire. I like how they called him the Shield of GSL, the last one standing up against the rest of the world.
This is so crazy. Serral, he was good for several years, but in 2018, it's like he figured it out. And a lot of people were being naysayers saying, okay, but he hasn't played in anything GSL related, right? I mean, you can't really count him as the same thing. Well, he's here now. He already beat one of the greatest Terrans of all time to get here, and then one of the greatest Zergs of all time. With Dark, now he's just got to beat one of the greatest Protosses, and the debate will be over. If Serral loses here, however, the Koreans keep their GSL throne.
And the little cherry on top of this pie tasteless is that he's already beaten Maru in the team battle as well. So that matchup that everyone wanted, it happened. It was only a best of one. Unfortunately, it's not the grand final, but showing that he has what it takes to go toe-to-toe with everyone in this nation.
Ooh, this is interesting, guys. Let's take a look at the maps real quick. So we're going to kick things off on Catalyst. Redshift, a very strong Zerg map, is going to be second. Look at Serral. He's going for all the Zerg picks. He's like Redshift, Darkness, and then Lost and Found. Okay, I'm a little bit surprised to see Redshift and Darkness that early, but other than that, obviously, I don't know what you guys think.
No, I think that this is not going to be that one-sided, so I think we're going to probably see most of the maps anyway, to be honest. And, I mean, that's really how it should be. Let's see one of these guys truly prove themselves over the other, right? And, I mean, this is truly a historic moment, right? We had Neeb win that Kespa Cup, but when Neeb won, no one was saying Neeb's the best player in the whole world. Yep. If Serral wins this, and you can say that with a straight face, Serral is the best player in the world.
Well, you have the evidence. It was there. And, I mean, also when Neeb won, it felt kind of unceremonious. It wasn't on a huge stage in front of Korean fans. The world didn't have anything of this scale. It was a Kespa Cup. This is GSL versus the world. And this whole
like
matchup.
Our game's ready, man. Let's do this. Stats versus Serral in the GSL finals here.
GSL versus the world. Gentlemen, take it away.
In the top left, the red Protoss, the shield of GSL. This is...
And on the right bottom side of Catalyst, we've got the hero of Europe. The Finnish Wonder Boy himself. Maynard, I am so incredibly happy that we are sitting here and able to cast the first two maps of this grand final. After that, of course, guys, Stastosis will be back in their regular seats and I'm going to bring it home to you guys. But I am very, very, very happy that we can sit here and at least enjoy two of these amazing games.
What an honor and a privilege to be here, Roddy. My first time in Seoul, and I am having the time of my life, dude. It is incredible. This is a fan and a commentator to finally be here in this grand final. Couldn't have asked for anything more special than that.
You know what's really cool as well, of course, I already mentioned both these guys 9-1 in this tournament, but it's very awkward and weird almost, but these two have never played against each other in a competitive environment. I'm sure they have played against each other on the ladder plenty of times, because Serral had periods where he stayed in Korea for a little bit. He would ladder a lot, he'd be rank 1 on the Korean server. Now, if you want to get rank 1, you have to go through guys like Stats, but in an official match, Stats versus Serral has never happened before, and that makes it perhaps even extra fun for us.
Certainly. This place is just packed to the rafters with fans of both players.
Wow, that's cool, by the way.
Yeah, really nice artwork there.
I wish I could draw. I can't. All right, so now in this grand final, I am expecting obviously a lot of Stargates coming out of Stats. That makes sense. But Maynard, one thing that I am very, very curious about is how this is going to be stylistically. In my opinion, what makes Serral so special in this matchup is that obviously he's really good at scouting, he's good at identifying, he has very strong late game, he's one of the few Zergs that actually knows how to deal with carriers properly. But the one thing that, in my opinion, sets Serral apart from the other Zergs is that he finds value out of Zerg units when most people say, Roaches are useless in this phase in the game, you can't do anything with them anymore, or Roach Hydra can never get the job done against his army. Serral is very good in splitting up his army, very good in sending off like 3 Roaches at a time, slowly but steady, getting some return of investment from those units and pulling further and further ahead. However, we call Stats the Shield of Ire, so he's supposed to be damn good in dealing with those minor multi-prong attacks that I'm expecting out of Serral. So stylistically, I really think this is a dream matchup in this matchup.
We've got the first 2 Adepts here of Stats looking for drone kills here, getting a creep human to start things off with. Nope, quick cancel there. And the Adepts do get surrounded, but it looks like they're going to shade away to safety here, at least for now. Queen ready to battle away at that low hit point 1. Nice position here between the minerals for Stats, but no drone kills yet. Well, not that many, just the 1. There's the 2.
2 is not bad actually. I mean, it's not the dream for stats. If you lose your 2 adepts, you don't really want to get only 2 drones. But it's of course 2 drones on top of 8 lings, and also if you really want to pinpoint things, a drone that morphed into a spore crawler. So this was not a disaster for stats, but it's also not great because Protoss kind of want to keep those adepts alive because it helps Protoss going up to 3 bases a little bit easier.
So you think this could be a melee upgrade here for Serral as that Evo chamber finishes?
Absolutely.
Haven't seen a Roach's jump
Whoa.
just yet.
That's -1 adept again. The last adept is going to get surrounded as well, and this is bad news bear for stats. I'm not sure where the Oracle is, but this is already very, very expensive for the Protoss. And Serral right now, if he wasn't happy before, he's absolutely very pleased at this point.
Yeah, the Oracle obviously will be able to deal with these lings, but it means it's using its beams over here and not on the other side of the map. The other Oracle also engaging Pulsar Beam here, using a lot of energy defensively. Turns out the shield of GSL has a couple chinks in it.
But the reason why this is so big is now 4 adepts have gone down in this game already. So how is Stats supposed to secure his 3rd Nexus if he wants to be active with his Oracles on the other side of the map? He simply can't because he will barely have any units, and that's why that pickoff was really big. Of course, Serral drained some energy from those Oracles as well, and on top of that, the Scout was perfect. He spotted the Robo, he spotted the Twilight right when it went down. Very, very solid little run by there for the Finnish Wonder Boy.
Well, he picks up 1 queen here, but there's already 1 still on the ground in the Spore Crawler as well. So he, oh wow! Last moment there, picks off that 2nd Oracle. 4 drones go down, but losing that Oracle does sting a bit for stats.
Yep, because that is also damage that he wants to stay alive. Especially because it seems like he's going up to 8 gateways, or at least 7 gateways very, very quickly. He wants to apply some very serious pressure with Archons and Zealots. No point in necessarily calling it ultra all-in because we know Protoss like to sometimes still expand behind all of that. But with attacks like that, if you make 8 gateways, there is a lot of commitment. And including, if you're very committed, you want to keep those Oracles alive because that is extra damage that you can bring with this massive attack.
Well, the next level of tech isn't here for Serral yet, and he's still basically on Queen Ling. And when the Charge Lots and Archons come and knock him with Prism support, you're going to need something a little bit different. You can't just rely on Lings and Queens to be very, very effective. Maybe Serral knows where he wants to engage here, but Stats is going to have a very potentially scary timing here when Charge finishes. And he sees no 3rd Nexus as well.
Yeah, he knows pretty much at this point. This is 6 minutes into the game. A player like Stats is way too good to still be on 2 bases 6 minutes into the game. So now Serral knows if it's not 6 gates, it's 8, but it's something among those lines. But Queens can actually be very useful in these scenarios. And the fact that Stats left so many Zealots at home actually kind of surprises me, Maynard.
Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe he was afraid of the Ling run by, but it feels like they'd be very, very powerful here to enforce this Archon position. Oh my god, so many Queens diving on that Prism, but the Charge Lots warp in. Most of them do. And the Archons with the Phoenix support as well, getting on top of these Queens.
Okay, the snipe is good, but then the Lings actually did not get a cancel on the Nexus on the other side of the map, but these Lings do have +1. So all that Serral needs to do is clean this up, and then he's in a phenomenal position as long as he doesn't lose any drones.
He's losing a lot of Queens, but yes, the drones is the main thing here. Oh, bit of a choke point there. Gets the surround on the Archons. Without the Prism, they will go down. Serral losing 4 drones. Oh, Stats isn't done yet. The Charge Lots from earlier coming up into his natural.
Wow.
Lots of drones starting to go down here. Stats is breaking through Serral's defenses.
Yep, these Zealots just ran from the other side of the map, but they really did add a little bit of extra damage as well. 15 drones. Stats is sending more Zealots. Who cares if he doesn't have a Warp Prism? And this really hurts for Serral, who had a 15 worker lead. Now suddenly he's down in workers, and it's very hard to produce units like Hydralisk if you end up losing that many drones because Hydras are pretty expensive.
Well, he's got 8 on the way here, and like you said, very, very hard to afford more muscular augments on the way. They're going to help them out defensively as well. The Serral's trying to keep Stats looking in 2 directions here. The Lings are surrounding this Nexus, and if he kills that, that's great. But how does he stop this attack, Rotterdam? This looks really scary.
Yep, there are still a couple of Queens. Of course, Hydras as well. Extra Zealots, and the Oracle going to try to save the Nexus, but it will go down. But does Serral have enough at home to deal with all these units from Stats?
The Spine Crawler slowed down Stats a little bit there. The Warp Prism's also taking a bit of damage. The Queens are starting to die, though. But he's giving a lot of room for these Hydras to get on top of these units. The Hydras did not go down, and he pushes it back.
Stats has a lot of money, so technically he could get extra Zealots. The problem is he doesn't want to put his Prism in a static mode at this point, because then the Hydras could take it down. Ooh. It's so low on HP, Maynard.
This is tough without Banelings here. These Charge Lots are really, really effective here. And the Archon's doing tons of splash damage from the back end as well. But +2's just completed. These Lings do a lot more damage output, and there's still a good number of Hydras left over.
Yep, and on creep, Hydras do have a little bit of micro potential. What Serral wants to do here is pick off Zealots one by one and stay away from the Archons.
Oh, there's 4 Archons here with that War Prism. The Prism is so low, though. If you can get that Prism targeted down, the micro potential of Stats gets halved here. The Hydra's in a bit of a concave. Nice big off there micro from Stats. The Archon's doing lots and lots of damage. Serral's knocking down their shield slowly but surely, but the Hydras are also losing a lot of hit points.
Yeah, a lot of the Archons are very low on HP though, so this is a little bit deceiving, but I do like where this is going for Stats, especially now because he's zoning those Hydras away from the other bases, and now it becomes very difficult for Serral. Can he somehow pick off these big Protoss units one by one?
Well, he's going to have to now, but more charge. What's going to give the Stats against one of those Archons? Good start here. Looks like the Archons are
Wow.
the Prism. 3 Archons going down. Big up there with those links of Serral, but the charge lots are back. They're getting up in his face again. 2 more Archons from the north joining in the fight. GG! Stats! What a game 1, man. He means business on stage, dude.
Wow.
He means business here.
Wow, that was incredibly well done. Really, really good micro on both sides. But I love what an amazing job Stats did there in keeping those Archons alive for as long as he did. And he was also not greedy. He didn't go for the stubborn Zealot Warp in where Protoss often end up losing the Prism. Nope, he ran back and then he showed up at the right moment with 5 Archons, even though 3 were very low on HP. He did a really good job in making sure those Hydras were not just able to get the Zealots and that the Archons wouldn't participate in the battle. That was really close, because especially with +2 melee, if Serral holds that push there in the end, after getting that Nexus as well, Serral kind of wins that game. So it was now or never for Stats, do or die, but he did it. Very well done.
It's definitely balanced on a knife's edge there, but Stats breaking on through. The decisiveness from him showing that he is a huge threat to Serral here. Most of the foreign community saying that Serral wins this 4-1, 4-0 even, where a few predictions out there in Twitter land. But I don't know. I mean, obviously there's already 1 point on the board here for Stats, but the red shit's going to be our next map here. Serral has a pretty insane win rate on this map.
Yeah, most Zergs do, I think. But I'm a little bit surprised to see that Ling with upgrade style coming out of Serral in game 1. Serral has always struck me a lot more as a Roach Hydra player, or at least safety Roaches, right? And then eventually get some value out of it. He went for the Zerglings in game 1. Let's see if he has similar plans on map 2, which once again is going to be played on Redshift.
Let's begin that countdown and get into the next map.
Either you rise or you fall.
On the left top side of Redshift, we're looking at the main base of our Korean Protoss. This is
Splice. Stats.
And the bottom left currently down in the series, but I believe in his ability to fight back. He is!
NC Sports. Serral.
all right, Maynard. The tone, the pace is set for this grand finals. That first game, I think it was really fun. Of course, maybe not as long as we sometimes hope for. We didn't see any carriers or storm, but what we did see was some awesome micro being displayed on both sides. And that got very close, guys. And game 2 is starting off in a really funky way. Stats is taking his own gold, and at the same time, he's showing us that he potentially wants to cannon rush the gold base of Serral. Like, what are we watching, Maynard?
A bunch of drones here from Serral heading out to try and stop this rush from happening. Stats does have that forge finishing up, and it looks like a cannon's about to be dropped. Does he go for it now that the drones are here?
I'm not sure.
Looks like he pulls back, at least for now.
Well, Serral sent his drones back. Maybe he did that a little too early. No, the other drones can't really help out. Okay, he still has a couple of drones on the right side. That probe starts to work on the drone from Serral as well. Serral's gonna react with spine crawlers. That is very risky because these cannons went up quite a bit quicker, and that cannon on the left side will absolutely finish off that
It
one.
certainly will. And that one that the observers are showing us right now, Stats is putting a lot of resources into this rush here. And Serral will potentially lose one or two of these spine crawlers before they're actually finished and helping him out here. It's a strong start for Stats.
Absolutely, but if the spine crawlers finish up, then Serral could still be safe here. And this is obviously a very big investment for Stats as well. But now it's two cannons already working on these spines, and the spines are still not done. I like where this is going for Stats, and I think Serral's in a little bit of trouble.
Target firing that hurt cannon to make sure it goes down, and it will. There's a very high hit point spine crawler here that is going to finish and help out. But now it's three cannons, Rotterdam. Serral's going to get that spike roller out of there. The Queen, definitely not enough here.
You gotta
Serral, oh no.
You gotta give up this base, Serral, at this point. Unless he's gonna try to clean it up with the Queen. All the Zerglings, he's making like 10, 12 links. If Serral doesn't take care of these cannons immediately, right now the game is pretty much over because Serral's putting all of his eggs in one basket, and that basket is keeping this hatchery alive.
Yeah, oh man, he may have potentially a transfusion here on that Queen in a second. The Lings are coming in to help out. Ooh, spike roll a little bit too close there.
You gotta go for it,
Oh,
Serral.
it's in range of the cannon, getting so low. In come the Lings from Serral, this is his last chance.
He's gonna go for the pylon, I guess. Is he going for the pylon or the cannons? I'm not sure. Pylon it is. Will he be able to take out this pylon?
Getting so close, the Lings are losing so many hit points. They can't. The
Oh my goodness.
Oh my god, that's it. Stats. The rush works here, and Serral just 1 or 2 Lings did not have what it takes to get rid of that pylon there in the end. 1 or 2 Lings would have made the difference.
Just like that, Stats is up 2-0 in the grand finals, and it feels like we haven't even truly started this party yet. But I'm sure he's enjoying his evening so far, because he didn't reveal much, he hasn't shown much in these first 2 games. And Redshift, a strong map for Zerg. A lot of Protoss players like to veto that map. They say it's not doable, it's not winnable. Stats is like, well, what if you just take your own gold and you cannon rush their gold at the same time? I think Serral was a little stubborn there, man. Like, I really feel in the beginning he didn't respect it enough. He had his drones on the way, and then he sent them back. And because he sent the 3 drones back on the right side, that's why so many cannons went up in the first place. Because if you immediately have those 4 drones there, they never finish up. Maybe one of them, but then you're fine.
Yeah, certainly. Bit of an unceremoniously lackluster dismissal there on Redshift. Of course, a couple lives left in the bank here for Serral. Hello guys, hope you're enjoying the final so far. We're having a bit of a blast, but wow, 2 games so quickly.
I know, and once again, like I said, Stats hasn't even really shown us much. Now, we do have a couple of bigger games coming up, or bigger maps, I should say, like 16-bit is still in there. Darkness Sanctuary is going to be our 4th map. So, it is not over yet, but I'm starting to get some flashbacks of when we were all so hyped for Serral versus Classic at Katowice, and when the first things went wrong in the first game, almost everything went wrong for Serral. But let's hope that the Finnish boy can bring it back. Quick break, and then we'll continue this grand final.